What's up, everybody? It's Joe with Joseph Blake Photography. This is gonna be weird. I had planned on doing a video where I was actually going to install the new Canon EOS Webcam Utility 2.0 Pro. I was going to do the 30-day free trial, and I was going to use it to live stream on my YouTube channel to test it out and to check out some of the features. I thought that'd be fun, just kind of a real-time review. But I'm having such a hard time just signing up for the subscription that I just decided just to start recording. And then I will edit this and post it as an edited video instead of doing it live. So let me just kind of show you first where we are on the screen. I've got the EOS Webcam Utility Pro installed, and when you open it up, it takes you to kind of this main screen here. I have no active streams, no active scenes, and so the first thing I want to do is I want to access those special pro features, and so I'm going to hit the My Subscriptions button, and it says I don't have a subscription. I'm currently using the free version, which is fine, and so now I want to hit upgrade. And first it asked me if I have an account. I don't know what kind of account it means. I have an image.canon account, but I don't know if that's the same thing. Needed an account for anything from Canon that I can think of recently, so I hit login, and just to see if maybe I've this app is bonkers. Okay, so if I hit the upgrade button and I hit create an account, it pops up this My Canon page in an embedded browser. If I did have an account for this, my password utility wouldn't work. So like if I try to do like F11, like I can't get to any sort of a console or anything. I don't know what browser this is. When you go on their website, there's no like if you click on the getting started guide, or if you come down here and you click on the how to subscribe, it's just a PDF that it wants to download, which is fine. This is supposed to be the how to subscribe link. It's just the utility, like how to do it. So then if you go down to like how to subscribe, it actually says, oh, well, you just run the software and you click the My Subscription button. Like I need a better lighting scheme to even deal with this. So let's just make things a little... Okay, so it just says hit the My Subscriptions button and then hit, so there's no, like if you don't have an account. So let's see if we can, because I can't do it from inside of that app. Well, I'm a big password, security person, and I use a password manager, and I really don't want that password to be something that I have to remember and type in, and right, this is gonna have potentially a credit card attached to it. So I'd really like to make sure that it's safe. So if I hit sign in and create an account, so that's where we would do that. Okay, so we would do it from right here. The browser, the built-in browser has resized itself to be full screen, even though I do not want it to be full screen. Okay, so I'm going to select the monthly because I do not plan on renewing it. And now it wants a credit card. Again, this is all stuff that I have saved in my my password vault. So this is all something that I would need to manually. I'm doing this for you. So I am confirmed that I am active and in trial for the subscription. If you want to support one particular video, you can hit the thanks button, and it'll send me a super sticker or super chat for whatever you want to do. Okay, so let's see here. So I'm pretending that we're live right now and just kind of chatting away. Okay, so I've got my subscription in trial, video, 720p, 1080p, 30. Okay, so I want 1080p, of course. I want 60 FPS, of course. I'll do preview at 10 FPS. I've got a pretty beefy CPU here. Scene transitions being direct are fine. I want to get picture quality and never use the lower resolution available for the camera. Okay, so those are the settings that I'm going to put together. Your mileage may vary depending on what you want. I'm not going to mess around with hotkeys just yet. We'll play with those later, and no cameras paired yet. So let's do, because I mean, really, if we're going to do anything, I want to pair a wireless camera, right? Let's do wireless. So let's pair a camera, and let's start. So select remote control, and I'm just going to change a few of my settings here. Should be good, I think. I'm in standard profile. I think we're doing okay as far as that's concerned. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and follow the instructions here. I'm going to go ahead and hit pair camera. So pair new camera. The menu went away. So if I hit reset and then pair new camera. Well, that's not working. There's no cameras paired, and it's not giving me the instructions anymore. I guess I'll restart it. Pair new camera. There we go. Okay, let's walk through a few simple steps. Okay, so on the camera, I'm gonna go to menu, register device for connection, and I'm going to select the device to connect to, select your Wi-Fi. I'm going to switch network here, and I'm gonna select my Wi-Fi here in this building. There that is. Put in that password. A lot of passwords you gotta plug in on little tiny screens. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and connect to the Wi-Fi there. Now, interestingly, you know, one of the things that I've noticed over the years using this camera, the R and the R6, and I think the 6D Mark II before it, that the wireless radios in these cameras, they're not great. And the wireless signal that I have here in this room is pretty good, but I'm just to my phone 20 feet away. I have difficulty like trying to remote capture or transfer files, things like that. It's very slow and it's very difficult. Right now the camera just says busy, please wait. Okay, start pairing. Okay, pairing with computer in progress. And we're gonna go ahead, camera, we're gonna hit next. Okay. And it is pairing or is communicating with the camera to pair it. Well, that screen just went away. It says it's still pairing, but that screen went away. So on the camera, it just says pairing with computer in progress, start the EOS utility on the computer. And that window just disappeared. And there are no other open windows. The other reason that I wanted to do this as a live is because recording this in 4K, my camera's getting hot. So I just recorded 30 minutes and it told me that I've got about 10 minutes more that I can record before it's gonna potentially overheat. It is currently 73 degrees in this room. Trying this again. Now, since the camera is already set up to be on the Wi-Fi network and everything's fine with that, it's I'm gonna select this again. I'm gonna try this for a third time. Automatic IP set, and it says start pairing devices. I know it's connecting to my Wi-Fi network because the computer's finding it. Like it says, hey, we've got your EOS R, let's get it paired. So I'm gonna hit OK. And then I'm gonna hit pair a new camera, pair a new camera. Okay, well that window doesn't come back up. So I'm gonna quit this software. Go to settings, go to wireless cameras and click on pair a new camera and start pairing. Now the camera's already in pairing mode, so it should find it, searching for available cameras. While that's doing that, I'm gonna go get a long USB-C cable. Not gonna work. All right, it's been like 5 minutes. I'm just gonna cancel and cancel. Now, I'm just gonna wire this thing up. So let's, right, okay. So how do I add a camera from here? Don't forget to connect your Canon camera. Pair a camera. I don't see anything about connecting it with a cable, so I'm just gonna connect it with a cable. Oh, it doesn't show it. Well, it says that I can connect it while it's recording to the camera, so plug this camera in, see what it does. Super choppy. Let's see, the choppiness that I'm seeing here on the live, I'm gonna check to see if that's something that has to do with the current video settings. So we'll do, preview is 10 frames, software, okay, no, it just does 10 frames per second preview. That's weird. Okay, I'll do picture quality and go. Okay, so now, interestingly enough, so I'm recording right now and I'm recording at 24p and I'm recording at 1/50th of a second. Now, if I want to get 60 frames per second and I want to use the 180-degree rule, I'm going to have to change my settings. And I can do that on here. So I'm going to change this to 1/25th. You're going to see flicker in my lights. Why I don't shoot at that, but I hope you can deal. And we're going to up that by 4 stops. And then we're going to, so now that means that if I'm going at 60 FPS, we should be good. Okay. So let's plug in another camera. I mean, I will say it picked that up pretty quick. That's impressive. Better than the previous version. So I'm assuming that's going to work the same way for the free version. To allow the accessory to connect. All right. And let's go ahead and switch this, or at least go over here and click on add source, add another source. It didn't seem to add this camera. Let me turn this. A camera has been connected. It says, you see that? It said for best performance, use 29.97. Even though it says that I'm doing 60 FPS, like what's that about? So even though it said there's a camera added, I can't add video capture. Can I add picture for default scene? Okay, so I need to add a new scene, add a source, video capture. Oh, and then I get to pick which camera. So let's say we're going to add the EOS R6. Okay, so there it is. Oh, it's actually a little smoother in the default scene, or in the second scene. That's interesting. And if I add a second one, so then if I add the R and then add camera, and then the like the screen controls this feels just like OBS. You saw in my previous video that I talked a lot about the fact that this feels like it's a lot like OBS. Okay, you can send to front, crop, uncrop, float. Okay, so all the stuff that they had in the other thing. So now we've got multiple cameras. So this is one feature that is only available in the paid version, though again, you could do this with OBS also at no cost. Okay, so now let's see if, okay. So now let's add some streams. Go to our settings. So I need to output this to something, right? So I can't, from within this application, stream to anything, which is something that you can definitely do inside of OBS. I've mentioned it a billion times in this video and in my last video where I talked about this software. So now let's do this. Let's add a new video capture device, and we'll just call it video capture 2. That's fine. And then it's going to ask me for the source, and I'm going to select the EOS Webcam Utility, and for the frame or for the preset, I'm going to set high, and then we'll just hit OK. Looking at here, it looks like at least that stutter is gone, which is good. Let me check my properties because I would like to be doing 60 FPS since that is an option. I'm paying for that, not yet, but I would be. There are a million videos out there on how to set up OBS for streaming. I am not your guy for that. But what I do know is if you go to stream, you can select, at least initially, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live, and all of these other services that you can kind of log into and use OBS to stream directly into. That's a pretty big omission for the Canon software. This is free. This software that I'm using right now, that you're seeing here, this is free. We're going to keep it at 1080p. We know that the signal coming out of the camera is scaled up to 720p and then scaled again to 1080. So that really doesn't matter. So I'm going to push this all the way to 60, and we're going to say okay. And I don't know, I'm looking at the signal that's coming out of this. Let me try one more thing. I'm going to switch this over to 1080p. I don't think this should matter, but I'm going to switch the record mode on this camera that we're on right now to 1080p. We're in 4K, full HD, 59.9. I've got our frame rate set to 125. Does that feel like 60? I'm recording this at 24 or 30, I think, actually, on my thing here. So I don't know, maybe it's only going to display at 30. Go back into here, into our scene. Oh, you know what? We were pushing scene 1 over. Okay, so we're in scene 1 and we've got our settings here. So it looks like our EOS R is at 60. Let's do the same thing, right? We'll push this up to 125th. You can see. Okay, we'll put that up to 125th. We will set the ISO to auto's fine. Aperture 4 is the lowest that one will go. So we should be getting 60 FPS out of here because I have this set at full HD 59.9, and that's what the stream should be getting. So now I'm going to go back to OBS, which is receiving that stream. You can see my hand here. So while we're recording this, just you have to use another piece of software, whether it's the web or Zoom or something like that. So you can't stream directly to those platforms via the Canon software. I don't know that a lot of people are going to be doing that, but it's just interesting, that it almost feels like it's a OBS competitor in that way. Okay, so we're gonna stop recording here. Again, it's pretty consistently utilizing the CPU. So let's go ahead and hit stop. So looking at that, I don't believe that is 60 FPS, or at least it's not passing 60 FPS off to OBS on either camera. Now it says it's encoded in 60 FPS, so I guess it is. I don't think there's 60 FPS coming out. I don't believe it. I gotta see it, and so far what I'm seeing doesn't look like it. So to confirm, right now on this camera, 1/125 is my current frame rate, or my current shutter speed. I'm at f1.4. I'm in ISO 400. I'm shooting my video profile that I'm currently recording into 1080p at 59.94. And if I go to the webcam software, I can't really tell. Go back to video. I've got it set to target streaming frame rate 60. I've got video streaming output resolution 1080p. Maybe if I switch the software performance to frame rate over picture quality, and then go back, and then go back to, it doesn't look any different. This looks like 30p or 24. And if I hit record, you can see here my video settings right now are set to 60 FPS. I don't really have a way to set specifics on what frame rate I'm going to get out of the input. It just does what it gets. Like it just takes in what it gets. And if I go into the preferences for this and I go to output and I go to recording output, I've got it set to high quality. Video settings are set to 60 FPS. Resolution, I mean, it's all... I'm looking at the screen, like my preview display, my flip out screen that I have on my EOS R6. That's 60 FPS. It's smooth. I can feel it. It's super smooth. This is not smooth. And if I hit record one last time, just to be 100% sure, I can see judder, like I can see halting. It's not 60 FPS. And we turned on the frame rate setting. Stop recording. Now, for those who are going to say, well, OBS isn't the software that you would stream to, it shouldn't matter. Whatever you're sending it up to is going to accept it the same way that OBS is. And OBS is just going to dump that out into a file the way that we're doing it. It shouldn't make a difference, especially since we have these settings. Definitely not 60, or at least not smooth. And I'm just recording it locally. So what have we established here? Number one, we have established that this definitely lights up all the cores on my MacBook. I like the controls in the software. That's nice. It's real stuttery. That makes me think that I'm doing something wrong. It says that changes will be affected when you relaunch. Okay, so now I've completely restarted the software. I'm going to go back to the settings here, just in case that was it. 1080p, 60, preview at FPS, and we're still looking for better performance. I do like that it identifies that OBS is where it's at, and that OBS is on the default scene and not scene 1. Maybe I'm just being dumb. I want OBS to take this scene. Right now it's taking the default scene. Go to the stream, go to OBS. I guess multiple streams? Okay, maybe there's some value there. Okay, so now let's go back and let's do a recording, verify that I'm still in 60, and we'll just do quick. I mean, it looks like 30p. That looked better. So now let's go to 0 and let's switch this back to 1/125th. I mean, I'm still on 60. Over here, I'm still on 60 FPS. So do OBS and let's record it again. I mean, I guess that looks smoother. So I guess even though I had rebooted it a couple of times, I hadn't set those settings. So let's see if now doing that again. Okay. So what have we learned? That video definitely looked like it was trying to do 60 FPS. I'm sure there's tweaks that I could do in OBS to record it better, but definitely looked better. Definitely looked cleaner. It looks like the 60 FPS was actually happening. Number one, if you change any of the settings or do anything, your recording on your camera stops. Though right now it is recording while we're on here, so that works. Multiple cameras works. The plugin was fast, like it worked really quick. And the multiple streams seems to work. At the same time, it also looks like we've got the 60 FPS working, like I said. Wireless, not working. So I would say that if there were 2 or 3 things that were really a part of this subscription service, they were going to be the ability to access 60 FPS, because I know that for streamers, especially game streamers, the higher the resolution, or rather the higher the frame rate to match your gameplay, the better, right? That's something that people are really clamoring for. High resolution versus high frame rate, versus for me, where I'm doing things at 24p, I don't really care. If I was a game streamer, I would care. It's nice that it can do that, number one. Recording while doing that, that works. But the wireless doesn't. So let's look at the feature list again, and go Webcam Pro, and let's look at the feature list, the subscription version of the service. Okay, so multiple scenes, multiple camera connections. Okay, at least one wireless connection, and control the settings. Okay, so those all work. Though custom scenes, multiple cameras, and controlling the UI are all available from other software packages. So that's not really, I'm going to say that's not really something that I'm going to add in there. The HD 720 versus full HD support, I'm not going to put in there, because again, you can use third-party software to scale up the signal that it's getting. It's not doing anything more. The 60 FPS is something that I don't believe is unlocked through any other software. So that works. I'm actually very surprised that works, and it works out of USB. And so 60 FPS and wireless were the 2 things that you really cannot get from anywhere else that I'm aware of, and one of them works. So 5 out of 10. Interesting. This has been a fun test. Again, I wanted to do this live, but the software was kind of a pain to sign up for because of the way that they do their whole browser thing. Go to the website to log in, not through the software, even though that's what the guide tells you to do. Don't go through the software, go through the website, and make it a password that you can either remember but unique, and something that you can, since copy and paste doesn't work inside the software. Okay, I think that's it. If you have any questions or want me to do anything more than this, I'm gonna have a 30-day trial. So I'd be happy to play around with this more and do more configuration, test out various services for you. Just let me know down in the comments. Thanks a lot, and I will see you in the next video. Maybe we'll do something live.